So I'm back again. We've been monitoring things, and the line coming in from North Dakota definitely packing some strong winds behind it. So I wanted to jump back on and give folks the heads up. Also, Manitoba has put out a severe thunderstorm watch for the southwest corner of Manitoba. So we're going to jump right into this. It's just me. Connor, unfortunately, has to work in the morning. So he is not here to help out, so it's me, myself, and I, and the rest of you guys. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. So what we're watching here, this is again the line moving up into the southeast corner of Saskatchewan and southwest corner of Manitoba. They have put out a severe thunderstorm watch. This is good for 9 hours. So this is obviously till tomorrow morning, and extending. We're what, I guess around 8 o'clock tomorrow morning Manitoba time. Just saying, severe thunderstorms have developed from a surface trough over southeastern Saskatchewan and North Dakota this evening and expected to move into Manitoba near midnight tonight. Strong to severe wind gusts and heavy rain is the main threat with these storms. Thunderstorms are expected to move out of the area by a Sunday morning. So you can see how this is marching up. We are watching this from the U.S. radar on the North Dakota side. It is obviously coming into Saskatchewan. If you did join us earlier for our stream where we were covering things moving up from the Montana-North Dakota border into Saskatchewan, that is continuing to be the case. So I'll show you that. This is from earlier, and you can see those storms crossing over. Heavy precipitation to the south of Weyburn. This cluster of rain will make its way slowly into Regina, more than likely into Weyburn and Estevan. And we will take a look at some winds in there. I'm just going to see how much velocity there is. There are some stronger winds here, but please remember this is far away from the radar. This is about 7,000 feet off the ground. There's 8,000, 9,000 feet. So that represents, we are talking almost 2 miles, so 3 kilometers roughly of distance off the ground with 80-kilometer-hour winds, but at the surface it'll be a little bit less. So that's what's taking place on the Saskatchewan side. And again, just trying to monitor what's taking place on the Saskatchewan side. They still have the tornado watch out for another hour, it looks like. Again, that was from earlier today, talking about the potential for tornadoes will diminish later this evening. We are obviously 9:41 p.m. Saskatchewan time at this point. So give me 1 second here. I want to make sure that I've got everything working here. Making sure I can comments are coming through as well, so I don't see any really new comments, but that may not be just because somebody isn't commenting. So anyways, again, I'm here on my own, jumping back on, and want to get this information out to people. So again, southwest Manitoba now has a severe thunderstorm watch. Expired PCP, thanks for commenting, because now I know that they're working. Prairies are cooking off this season with all the storms they're getting. We could use some of the rain in Ontario. And definitely over the next couple of days, the prairies are going to be very active. Tomorrow we're looking at Manitoba, Saskatchewan, and then Monday we're talking severe weather, Manitoba and Northwest Ontario. Okay, so let's look at this. Overnight, if you are on the southern portion of Saskatchewan and southeast corner of Saskatchewan and southwest corner of Manitoba, we do need to pay attention to this line making its way up. And again, this is the one that had me jump on because there's quite a bit of wind in behind the line, and it is gusty. So it's that lightning effect, obviously heavy rain in the leading edge of this. So where you're seeing those reds and orange, that's heavy downpour. Once the line crosses, you're going to have moderate to mild rain and then eventually none, because your yellows, greens, and blues are on the low end of the precipitation scale. And I'm going to show you the winds on this side of things from the US radar on the North Dakota side. And again, we do have quite a bit of wind packed in here. It's still on the North Dakota side, but this is slowly making its way up into the corner of basically where Saskatchewan and Manitoba meet. We're going to have the storms come in, and they're going to slowly come across the border and then move through the southern portion of Manitoba throughout tonight into tomorrow morning. Again, that severe thunderstorm watch is out for the next 9 hours, being almost 11 p.m. That's roughly around 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. They're going to have that expire. So I'll stay on as long as I can tonight. Obviously, I have to stream tomorrow, but we'll stick with this and do our best to get you guys the information. Rick, thank you for being on here. I'm actually surprised to see you, but it's people are just quiet. All that lightning, they just don't need more fires out there. I was looking at the smoke maps, and it's all coming our way, and yes, unfortunately it is. So Hayden, thanks for jumping in the chat. Feel left out here in Airdrie out in Alberta. We barely have gotten anything. Severe wise, yes, you're going to get a ton of rain coming very shortly over the weekend. There's a couple more days there of rain. Let me take a look at this thunderstorm warning. Environment Canada, 9:43 p.m. Meteorologists are tracking severe thunderstorm capable of producing damaging wind gusts and quarter-size hail and very heavy rain. So this is again on the Saskatchewan side, going into Estevan, Weyburn, and eventually into Regina. So you can see where all our precipitation is tucked in at this point. And I'll show you what this is doing over the last few hours. And you can see it's almost stalled out here north of, and again, I'm going to probably, Ojima, I hope that's how it's pronounced. North of there, this storm is no longer moving that quickly. You can see how it's just kind of stuck there, and there's just a conveyor belt of rain sitting there. So as Connor and I alluded to on the first half of this stream, that flooding overnight, flash flooding, would be the main issue with these storms. Obviously, quite a bit of lightning. Let's take a look at wind gusts in here. So on the left-hand side, you can see no bright colors. Where we do have the bright colors, obviously in south of Weyburn and around the Weyburn area down to the U.S. border, we have some strong winds in there. These are elevated, so 90-kilometer-hour winds. But what I mean is elevated. These are 10,000 feet off the ground. That's 2 miles or 3.2 kilometers in the sky. Down to the surface, I would expect you're probably having 70 to 80-kilometer-hour wind gusts, but very windy where we see all this bright coloration on the Saskatchewan side. And that is eventually coming into the Manitoba side of things when the line to the south in North Dakota makes its way up there. So again, this is marching up that way. It will catch the southeast corner of Saskatchewan and eventually into Manitoba as well. And this is a line that is packing some wind in behind it. So unfortunately, like I said, we had cut the stream, but things picked up. So I've jumped back on, and I'll walk people through it as best as I can here throughout the evening and into the overnight hours. And definitely the wind and heavy rain is the biggest component overnight. Hail, not as big an issue with this, just lots of rain and lots of wind. Let's pause this on the U.S. side. This is the radar out of North Dakota. And give me 1 second here. Sorry. Close that off. Let's bring up velocities. So our radar sits right here on the northeast of Minot, basically. There's a radar station there. Back in behind the line, we are seeing some winds of 90 kilometers an hour, and this is only 4,000 feet off the ground. So less than half the distance we were just talking about in Saskatchewan. So these are packing some winds, but still on the North Dakota side. However, heading up to Canada and the border with Saskatchewan and Manitoba. So Estevan right now getting a ton of rain coming in there, as you can see here with all this orange and red. And then extending northwest into Weyburn. So I'll switch over to our Canadian radar so you can see that. Lots of rain packed in here, so just moving its way north. And I'm going to move the line here, so bear with me for a sec, because there's two different areas of motion as far as storms are concerned. So I'm just trying to determine where that is. I might need my US radar here for a second. Okay. So roughly, I'm going to draw a line here. Roughly around here in this area. To the left of this line, most of the storm motion is to the north. So this would march essentially northward. To the right of this line, we have basically a northeast trajectory on it. So again, roughly in this general direction. There's a bit of a split happening in that line in terms of our storm motion. So where this curves down, that's where this is moving northeast. And then the rest of the line back here on the Montana side and into Saskatchewan is moving basically due north. So when we look at our radar from the Canadian side, all of this precipitation is moving north. So this intense core here we'll get into, more than likely, we'll get into Regina. Right now, Radville, Weyburn, on the edge of it, but shortly going to be into Weyburn with all this rain, and then Estevan. But what also you need to notice on this side is these bright winds. So I'm going to draw this here. This is my separator right now for the heavy winds. On the right-hand side of this line, we have these strong winds that are tucked in there. And again, they are more elevated, but still 90-kilometer-hour wind gusts. So this is going to be very windy around Weyburn, Estevan, and moving north from there. But you can see we're getting, this is the edge of the reading on the radar where you see the end of the circle. That's getting way up there in the storm. So again, 7,500 feet is about 1.5 miles. So you're 2.5 kilometers up above the surface. So again, reading down closer to the surface, you'll probably have 60-70 kilometer-hour winds, but lots of lightning and lots of rain at this point. So that's what's taking place. Let me kill off one tool here, wipe that out, and then show you guys what's happening here in Saskatchewan. And then we'll switch over to the Manitoba. I'm having to use two radars here because obviously the radar that's west of Regina will not read into southwest Manitoba and into North Dakota, but we can see those storms marching north, lots of lightning packed in there. And we are getting lots of precipitation with some back building wind behind that line. So let's switch over to the Minot radar from the US. And again, this will show you the same idea just from that perspective of the US radar. So moving a little further eastward. And then we have, right now we don't have anything really in Manitoba. As far as precipitation is concerned, we have the Fox Warren radar, which is located obviously near Fox Warren. Where is it? It's right here. It's tucked right here. That's the center of the radar. And it's starting to read that line, but again, it's kind of high up, so it looks a little more pixelated because it's far away from the radar itself. So our best radar right now is from Minot, and we can see the line, and then I can switch between that and the Regina radar just to be able to see how this line is progressing into Saskatchewan and then eventually into Manitoba. So what else is going on? Doors 1, 2, 3. Yes, is it moving to Manitoba? This is slowly making its way overnight. You can see that the progress is not very quick eastward. It is moving quicker to the north, but this whole line extends, and I can show you guys this. I'm going to turn off our temperatures. Bear with me. And we'll show you how this whole complex is happening today or tonight. So let me switch on composite. You can see how far this extends all the way to Nebraska. So you can see the line is essentially over the last couple hours has formed. This is now 9:52 p.m. Saskatchewan time, and you can see that well-defined line stretching all the way from Saskatchewan down to Nebraska. So that is going to make its way up into Manitoba, and you can see the edge of it here. I'm just highlighting it all the way down, curving back into Nebraska. Sorry about that. I went a little too far. So let me re-highlight that. There we go. So again, you're seeing this portion pushing up, and we'll get into the Manitoba area. This will march a little bit more that way, and then these are starting to work more eastward overnight. So again, the stuff to the way south should not make its way up there. We're more dealing with the stuff that's in the state of North Dakota, will come into partially into Saskatchewan and then into Manitoba overnight. So packing a little bit more of a punch than we expected when we got off stream. So again, that's why I've jumped back on and making sure we're getting you guys informed. So I didn't want to leave anybody hanging overnight, and we'll stick with this for the next little while just to see how this unfolds. We are seeing on the leading edge of this some rotation, and I want to address that because I've seen other platforms posting issues with rotation as it's crossing over the border here. So let me bring it up. So we've seen some rotation down on the border. The problem here is that they're reading from a radar that's around 14,000 feet above the surface. You're getting close to 3 miles above the ground or 5 kilometers above the ground. Rotation at 5 kilometers above the ground does not reference what's happening on the surface. So you have to be careful when you post that kind of stuff. It's understanding radar and being able to look at it from multiple locations, but rarely will you see minor rotation at 5 kilometers up being intense at the surface, because you tend to have a lot more winds. Higher up you get off the ground, the windier it gets. So it's like being on top of a mountain. When you get to the top of a mountain, it's super windy, whereas at the base of the mountain, it may not be windy at all. So again, that amplifies that rotation. So at the surface, you're more than likely not seeing, you're probably seeing a fraction of that. So I want to help people understand that. So if they're seeing somebody post something from 14,000 feet up, you're starting to get into the territory of where airliners start flying, right? So it's definitely a bit misleading in that regards. So again, lots of rain packed into this, and it's marching northward and to the northeast, coming into Minot right now, and then it'll make its way into the southwest corner. So out by Boissevain, obviously the southwest corner of Manitoba, so Killarney, we'll get in on it. And again, this is over the next 9 hours roughly that this is going to slowly march east and northeast from where it currently is. So Saskatchewan getting tons of rain right now, depending where you are. So we'll switch over to that and take a look at it. So you can see that the line has lost a little bit of that definition. More rain packed in behind with this yellow and moderate to the south west of Weyburn or south of Radville. And right now raining right across that 39 corridor, Estevan, Weyburn, making its way up. And eventually we're going to get some storms here popping around the Regina area, but most of the precipitation is still to the south, slowly marching northward again. So I'll run that just so you can see how that's going up towards Regina and packing in all that rain. So east east of Regina, we're looking at some stronger winds. So let me pause that or stop this and switch over to our wind profile. You can see that here right around Radville, Weyburn, we do have some very strong winds registering. These are above the surface, but I've got some areas right in here reading 117 kilometers an hour. This is west of Weyburn, and it's about 6,000 feet off the ground. So let's say we're talking 90 to 100 kilometers an hour on the surface. So very strong winds packed in behind that initial line of precipitation. All the way down to the border, we have some 80-kilometer-hour wind gusts. If you're new to reading the radar, what we have here is obviously green is moving towards the radar. So this is our wind velocities, meaning direction of travel and the speed. The brighter the greens where you get into these blues, that is obviously strong winds. Red would be the same thing. We had it actually earlier when we started the stream originally. And that was bright red. So again, that's red is moving away from the radar. So that's how we can determine rotation and speed and velocities of what's happening on in the storm. They just updated this thunderstorm warning. So Environment Canada tracking severe thunderstorm capable of producing damaging wind gusts, quarter-size hail, and heavy rain. That's pretty much been the status quo for the warnings. As they've been putting them out this evening. We have a bunch of the severe warned ones. A lot of this would have to do with rain as well, because we again have no real winds here to the left. Let me take a look at the boxes here. I'm going to draw my line. So our winds are to the right of this line. So if we look over here, there's still a severe warning north of Ojima. And that is for all this rain that's in there. There's going to be some flooding because that's a saturated area. We've seen Saskatchewan getting a ton of rain, especially the southeast corner, and it has been there for the last few hours. You can see that rain has essentially been in that box. I'm trying to catch my slider here. So, oh my God, it's late. I'm tired apparently. You can see this rain has been training through that area for the last, I want to say, close to 3 hours. So that is what the biggest issue is, the flooding that's happening in that area as I drag it out. And now there's a big push of precipitation and wind further southeast of that on that side. So let's take a look where this line has made its way from the U.S. radar, and it's starting to cross over at Portal, which is obviously the international crossing there where 39 comes down to North Dakota. Estevan getting buried in rain right now. There's very heavy rain there. Let me see if I've got, well, this is the closest radar according to it, but it's like right on the edge of both of them. So that's the problem as we get into this corner, that it's always far from a radar. However, there's definitely lots of rain tucked in there. So what else? Chopstick, how do you make the reflectivity look like that? So this is reflectivity. I have different color palettes that I have in here. So I don't know what you mean when you say, how do I make it look like that? This is reflectivity, which is the density of precipitation. So how much precipitation is in the storm or in the area. You know, your orange, red, and pink are on the high end of the scale. Yellow, green, and blue are on the lower end of the scale. So this would be velocities, which is the other side of the equation. And this is to do with wind speed. I explained that. So that's what we're dealing with. And a cheat code for anybody looking at radar: always look where your lightning is isolated to, and that's where your severe component is. So you see on the leading edge, there's all these little lightning bolts stretching back to the northwest. Behind the line where you've got mostly green, yellow, and a little bit of orange, there's no lightning in there because that's not severe. That's just rain at this point, with possibly some wind in there. But the severe component of when you get into those really big lightning strikes, lots of rain and winds, it's all on that leading edge of the storm. So What else is going on here? So let me check on more chat. Wondering if this system moving towards Saskatoon and north of Saskatoon. This is moving up that way. So Saskatoon way back up there. Let's switch this out. But you can see this kind of comma header hook that's been pushing from Montana through since I've started live streaming. The original live stream that we had going up into that area. So hopefully the severe component isn't there. There's definitely a fair bit of rain packed in there with a bit of lightning, but it's losing a bit of its oomph as it's getting closer to Saskatoon. So it is, Stacy, it's definitely heading up there and moving further north, as you can see on the radar here, pushing up that way. But again, the areas you want to focus in on radar reflectivity is the oranges and the reds. That's where it's really heavy rain. That yellow and green is on the lower end of the scale. So a bunch of rain going to move into Regina as well for this event. So what's going on here? We need radar updates. Way too much noise in those velocity scans coming from Rick. Yes, absolutely. It's definitely one of those struggles. You know, I've complained about it. So and so got a comment here from It's Me, Johnny. I live out of Saskatoon northwards and just cloudy and windy. At this point, yes, you had storms move through there earlier. Those are way in the northwest now, north of Battleford and North Battleford, sorry. Those are moving northwest, so I can show you that radar loop, but you can see this precipitation approaching from the south coming into Saskatoon in the next hour or two, roughly. That's what we're expecting there. So let me switch back to the southern portion and we'll see what's happening here. And I'm going to continue to monitor this. There is some minor rotation here on the US side, but it's a bit of noise from that radar, and there's also data missing, which is interesting. You can kind of see these blank loops here, and that's just the difference between two different scans, the way the radar works. But right now, the biggest thing is that this line is moving up with heavy rain and wind behind it. So straight line wind event is the bigger issue at this point. So again, just moving into that southeast corner of Saskatchewan, east of Estevan, over to the Manitoba border, and eventually we'll get into this severe watch that was put out by Environment Canada for southwest Manitoba. Hayden making a great comment. Oh, something just disappeared there. I'm not sure what happened there, but saying if only we had a radar team still, if only. Yes, definitely some issues with Environment Canada cutting some stuff, and definitely, you know, we're seeing that impact, unfortunately. So Tom Canuck saying, yep, pouring in Estevan now and intense lightning. And thank you very much for giving us that update as well. It confirms also what we're seeing on radar here. Again, we are between two different radars, and Estevan kind of finds itself in not no man's land, but it's literally halfway between the US radar, if you look at that to the southeast, and then to the northwest is this radar out of just out of Regina. Estevan's right in the middle of it, so kind of on either end of the radar. So lots of rain, lots of lightning in that. This is slowly heading into that southeast corner, which I know there was a ton of rain there about a week ago, so that's not going to help things any in either way as well. So Manifested Beauty saying, I'm in Saskatoon and we've been waiting on a good storm, batten down the hatches. Absolutely. You've missed the earlier ones today. They kind of skirted just to the west of Saskatoon, but right now you are, let's take a look here. Saskatoon to the edge of the storms is about 60 kilometers right now, maybe 70 kilometers maximum, but that's where you're at. It's moving at a reasonably good pace here. and it will, I would say that you're probably in the next hour to 2 hours that rain will make its way into Saskatoon. Again, how intense it's going to be, I'm not 100% sure. We'll monitor it, but you can see that the most intense rain is kind of tucked in here, and this is moving in this general direction. The western side of this, still moderate rain, but moderate to lower end of the scale for rain. Not much. There's no lightning on this side. The only place there's lightning is where I've highlighted here, this arc. So that will probably make its way into Saskatoon. So a bit of a light show headed that way. And then also back here to the southeast, lightning show coming into Regina, and there's some additional showers popping kind of out to the east of the main line here. So I can show you that. You've seen a couple of storms fire. So just in this area right here, we've had some more fire, and you can see the lightning strikes out ahead of it, and this is heading into the Regina area. So again, lots of rain, some wind packed in here. And let's take a look at our wind profiles on our latest scan. This is at 10:05 p.m. Saskatchewan time, so about 4 minutes ago. And you can see that we've got these brighter green or blue, light blue areas. Those are the ones that you've got those higher winds into. I'll show you, we've got some 80, 90 kilometers an hour just tucked in there, just around the Weyburn area and McTaggart, it looks like. Some 98, 104 kilometers an hour on the very edge of this, just over 100 kilometers an hour, about 5,000 feet off the ground. So again, that's about 1 mile, so 1.6 kilometers roughly. So very windy night right here to the east of Highway 6 currently. So that Highway 6 is almost a divider for where those winds are around Weyburn, McTaggart, Radville, and then back into Estevan. And we're just going to switch over here to that Minot radar from the US side. It also updates every 3 minutes, so it's much quicker than the Canadian side, which is only once every 8 minutes. Okay, so wait a minute here. I'm back on some comments. I want to get caught up here, make sure I'm catching up with everybody. Andrew, yeah, good to see you on the live stream as always. This one's going to be a late one, especially since we're based out of Eastern Ontario. But we'll stick with it while we can, just to get people warned in front of this. Again, for heavy rain and wind in behind that initial line. It's not long-lived because you can see that line is not very broad. However, it does pack a bit of a punch as it's moving through. So, yeah. It's the wonder of nature, baby. Yes, that's out of the movie Twister. So, yellow and greenage, saddle up, boys. Thanks for this live stream, man. Good luck out there, folks. Thank you for tuning in. And again, hopefully people know what's coming at them. For the most part, other than you're being inside, and you know that's the best thing you can do, and not having anything outside that can get thrown around by the stronger winds. So it's Crafted Dinosaur commenting, so far Saskatoon has got nothing, but you are going to see something out of this storm unless it dies before it gets to Saskatoon, but it's a significant system, so I suspect you're still going to get rain in Saskatoon. Oh wow, Lunix, thank you very much, coming in from Brazil. Wow, so we've got Australia in here, we've had Brazil, we've had Europe, the US. It's awesome when we make this an international flavor. So okay, so Dusty asking about, will it lose strength or burnout by the time it hits Reston or Verdun? So let me do a search here and just see where Reston is, because I don't recognize that one. So it's not going to lose that much intensity. You're just to the west of Pipestone, Manitoba, which for storm chasers, that's a very well-known location for the sheer fact that there was a very strong tornado in Pipestone a few years back, several years back, actually. Right now, it does not look like it's going to lose its intensity. There's still this leading edge that is packing all this rain in here. And then again, we'll switch over to winds. So some of the winds here, let's take a look. I'll read here. On the leading edge, we're seeing 70, 80 kilometer hours of winds just south of the Canada-US border. So definitely still packing a bit of a punch. And so needs to be paid attention to. And again, that's why we jumped on. This is the Manitoba-Saskatchewan border. And then this is the US border right here. And as you're seeing, I'm reading some fairly strong winds not too far off the ground or off the surface, 3,000 feet, some 80, 90 kilometer hour wind gusts in there. So it's packing a bit of a punch. So southeast corner of Saskatchewan needs to batten down the hatches, and the southwest corner of Manitoba as well as this progresses further. And it's a slow roller. This is not moving quickly again. We're talking overnight for the next 5, 6, 7 hours while this marches north and northeastward. So Manitoba hasn't really seen anything so far. We do have, it's amazing. This is what I always point out about lightning. You've got your main line of storms back here to the southwest, and there's one lightning strike out here. Now there's two. Just out in the middle of nowhere in terms of way out ahead of the storm or the main line of storms. So lightning, when I storm chase, is the one thing that scares me the most, because if you go back to the line, it is 43 or 44 kilometers ahead of the line. However, there are some storms popping around. There's some showers popping up here, so it could be associated to that. But lightning is always the part that freaks me out more about storms than anything else. Let's look at some velocities here. Nothing jumps out at me there. So again, some strong straight line winds seems to be the biggest thing that we're dealing with. Lunix saying supercell question mark. This is not a supercell. This is a linear or lined out system, essentially somewhat of a bow echo. So usually supercell is an isolated storm all by itself. You can have some lines embedded with supercells, but I don't believe that's the case right now. So this is just a bow echo with, lined storm system, essentially. So switching back to Saskatchewan, just to look in there and watch what's going on. So Weyburn, quite a bit of rain packed in there. Still, Estevan is almost out of it. Tons of lightning here in that southeast corner. You can see all these lightning bolts just around the Estevan area. So quite the light show going on, I'm sure, for anybody in that area. And it's, I'm just going to adjust this up a little bit here. And again, back to the south of the main orange area, you've got moderate rain and not a whole lot of lightning. So Radville should be out of the most of the intensity at this point. There may be some winds there, so I'm going to just take a look. Still got some winds packed in here. So once these winds move out, then you're pretty much done with the severe portion of things, but you can see how this has pushed across the border in those bright areas, moving in with those bigger winds. So starting to propagate northward, over the last number of scans. So that's the last thing for kind of the Radville area and south, but you can see that this is mostly yellow, meaning middle or moderate precipitation or lighter at that point. So what else have we got here? What do you think about the current tornado warning in the US? I don't know where they have a tornado warning right now. I'd have to take a quick look. If it's in Montana or North Dakota, I just don't have my US warnings turned on because we obviously concentrate on Canada. But let me see if there's anything tornado warned in the Montana area, which I don't think there is. Let me see here. Yeah, it would maybe be on the North Dakota or South Dakota side of things. Let me see if I can find it quickly and kind of comment on that. I'll switch out this and kill it off. Let's just do that and then see if I can tornado warning. So this is Lincoln. Where is this? Bismarck, North Dakota. Okay, let me see. Yeah, there's some quick spin ups that are possible. This would be one area right here that could be doing something, and that's why that area is tornado warned. I'll take a quick look at that. You can see how that line is pushing through, and there's definitely some intense winds right kind of in this couplet right here. That would possibly... The problem with these is they spin up really quick. They don't really last long, and those, you know, have to be caught quickly. But let's take a look here. So there's some 110, 115 kilometer-hour winds in there. So definitely windy, but this is in the North Dakota side of things, south of 94. So still, that's moving eastward at this point. Won't make its way up to Canada or anything like that. So storms starting to pop out ahead of this. So as that system is walking through, it creates pressure, and that's what, or forcing, and that's what's causing these little isolated storms to pop out ahead of it. That line will usually just catch up with them and absorb them as it continues to march northeast. So let's take a look here, and we'll just see here. So again, south portion of Saskatchewan just getting a ton of rain right now with some higher winds along that 39 corridor, Highway 39. I want to believe, or I want to say that's the highway that Dog River used to be on for the TV show. I know they tore down the set or whatever, but I remember driving, I want to say, on that highway and finding it accidentally, but that's that corridor. So along there, there's some big winds. And then this is slowly pushing up into, again, into Canada. So I'm just going to turn off my US warnings because we don't need those right now. And you can see how this is all pushing up into Manitoba, and there's going to be quite a bit of rain and lightning with that. So that's kind of where we're at right now. 379 asking any rain coming into Elida, Saskatchewan. So let's take a look here. Just see if I can find it. There we go. I clicked on the wrong side of things. So sorry, what was the question? Any heavy rain? Yes, you are about to see some heavy rain. It's back to your southwest essentially. Let me pull it up on the latest scan, and I can give you Elida's right there. So you've got some rain popping right now, but as far as the main precipitation, you're about 26, 27 kilometers away from it on that last scan. So definitely heading in your direction. Justin saying, I'm in Oxbow. I can see lightning. What's the verdict for my area? I know exactly where Oxbow is because unfortunately you guys saw a tornado there not long ago. We live streamed and reported on that tornado. So right to your south, you're going to just get a bunch of precipitation. Let me look at the straight line winds. So there are some stronger winds in that. We're talking 70 kilometer hour, 60, 70 kilometer hour winds, just moving into your area very, very shortly. So you need to obviously heed those. And again, I know there was a tornado that moved through there about a week ago. It might have been a little bit longer than a week ago, and it did cause damage, unfortunately. So let me switch radars here and see if I've got anything. No, Fox Warren's too far. So this is my best radar right now for that area. And again, heavy rain in this initial leading edge of the line. But once you get behind it, as you can see, southwest of there, you've got greens and even no rain, and then you'll work into some moderate rain, and then it'll be over with. So a bit of excitement coming for you right now. What else is going on here in the comments? Gwen asking, what about Neepawa, Gladstone, Austin area? So let me see what I can do there. So you are on the very northern edge of this, and in terms of along that Highway 16 corridor, and the line is going to come up there. But as this progresses, I'm hoping that this kind of weakens. You're still quite a distance from this line. I will tell you how far you are in terms of where the storms are. So you're probably from that initial wave, you're 200 kilometers and then about 225 from the main portion of the line. So you are still many hours out before this makes its way there. So it's an overnight thing. Again, I'm hoping that this weakens overnight. It's hard to say that far in advance just because so many things can happen. We are now obviously 10:23 p.m. Saskatchewan time, 11:23 p.m. Manitoba time, and that puts it 12:23 p.m. my time. So just expecting this to continue marching. I'm going to give you worst case scenario. Again, we are seeing some heavy rain in this, 80-kilometer-hour winds with lots of lightning on that leading edge. But once that moves through, again, the backside of this is much more moderate, much less significant. So let's hope that's the way it stays. But you're still 200 kilometers out. So it could die, it could maintain, or it could even strengthen as possible. But right now, that's what you're looking at for worst case scenario. Liv asking, when it looks like that, is that a QLCS, quasi-linear convective system? And yes, you get into these QLCS type setups. I wish Connor was here because he's a little better explaining that kind of stuff. But you're basically, it's a giant line. If we look at the whole entire thing, you can see that that line stretches all the way from Regina down into Nebraska at this point. So, but it does have a bit of a bowing effect on it. What I mean by bowing is not the plane, but how the shape of this line is. It kind of curves. And continues to curve as it's marching along. So that's that bow type of echo or bow effect that you're getting on these storms. So again, marching into the southwest corner of Manitoba, this is coming your way. And again, it's not long-lived, but it's going to pack a punch in terms of rain and lightning and some wind as well. So what else is going on here? Peebles, Saskatchewan, yeah, home of the famous 89 long track twin or triplet tornadoes. Chris O'Malley just woke up and came back on. Why are you still going, Tom? Chris, I actually came off, and this is the second stream I started because this started to pick up some intensity, and then also Manitoba threw out a severe thunderstorm watch again for the southwest corner. It's good for the next 9 hours. And I'll read it out for anybody that's just jumping on, saying conditions are favorable for development of severe thunderstorms that may be capable of producing strong wind, large hail, and heavy rain. Severe thunderstorms have developed from a surface trough over southeastern Saskatchewan and North Dakota this evening, and expected to move into Manitoba near midnight tonight. So they're not far off on that timing. Strong to severe wind gusts and heavy rain is the main threat with these storms. And so, yes, it's heavy rain and wind being straight line wind is the biggest issue. They've just updated this thunderstorm warning and just saying that they've changed the size of the box. That's what's happened. So Environment Canada tracking thunderstorm capable of producing damaging wind, quarter-size hail, and very heavy rain. I think it should say line of some thunderstorms because obviously this is not just one thunderstorm. It is a lined-out event. So again, quite a bit of rain. They've shrunk back the severe box for Saskatchewan side. So this is the severe watch. They've just pulled it back, still maintaining it for the next few hours at this point. And I need to message somebody, so bear with me for a second, folks. Okay. What else is going on here? So let me zoom back in here. So we still have, so they shrunk the severe watch or severe warning here in the southeast corner of Saskatchewan. The US radar is probably better for this. We do have those little storms popping out in front of this line, so they are starting to skirt into Manitoba. And then this line is going to follow suit from that. So Regina probably getting in on the rain right now. Let me just see. Excuse me. So yeah, rain is just on the edge of Regina, right around that Highway 1 bypass. It's now coming into town. This is just moderate rain when you're seeing that yellow, but obviously a lot of orange packed into the south near Milestone, so straight down that Highway 6. So you're, and lots of lightning in there as well. And so all of this precipitation is moving through there. So southeast Saskatchewan's going to get quite the soaking tonight. And obviously already a saturated area from the last few weeks of storms. So um, did Broken Shell area get much rain? Joan, I'm not sure about that, but let me see where that is. Let me type better here. Broken Shell. Uh, is that Saskatchewan? My software can't find it, so bear with me for a sec. I'll have to use Google Maps. Let me see here. See where that is. Okay, that is northwest of Estevan. Oh, yeah. So that would be right somewhere in this area right here. So the line that did move through had quite a bit of rain that came through at the time. So I can show you that we've had rain kind of move through that area starting about an hour ago, but still more rain behind it. So definitely some more coming through for you, Joan, if that's the area you're in. What else? Uh, Chris saying, looks like mostly thunder and lightning out west and some rain. Don't wear yourself out. Have a good night. Thanks, Chris. Always appreciate you jumping in. It's the winds on this Saskatchewan side of things that right now are the issue. We are packing in some bright winds in here, and they're moving into Regina as well. So let me highlight this. There's some winds that just popped here. So if we look at the Regina area right now, we're not seeing any bright greens for the most part. And then suddenly, as this is all approaching, you can see currently there's quite a bit of wind packed in just south of Regina. This is 80-kilometer-hour winds only off the surface, not far off the surface, so 1,000 feet. So you are definitely going to get some strong winds moving into Pilot Butte to Regina through that area along the Trans-Canada Highway and making its way north. And you can see some strong winds on the leading edge of this line as it moves up. There's some 90-kilometer-hour wind gusts. Again, a little further off the surface, but to the east or around Milestone, Saskatchewan, we are seeing some 94-kilometer-hour wind gusts registering here. So windy as this moves through the area. And obviously quite a bit of lightning and rain, but behind it, depending where you are, again, east of Highway 6, that's where those brighter colors are embedded in there. And as we get down to Estevan and Crosby, I'm going to look from the U.S. side. There's some strong winds here now around the Estevan area. These are elevated, but still registering some 100-plus kilometers an hour. These are 11,000 feet off the ground, so that's 3 kilometers, folks. So at the surface, I would suspect 70, 80 kilometers an hour, somewhere in that neighborhood. But still worth noting just so that folks aren't caught off guard by that. So right now our line is continuing to march east in North Dakota and has gotten almost to the Manitoba Saskatchewan border with the US as well, kind of that triple point intersection there. We do have some thunderstorms in that area with this line again marching northeastward. So rain coming down in Oxbow, wild storm saying Justin. Yes, and this is going to move through. Hopefully it's pretty quick. And then again on the back end of this, the precipitation should recede pretty quickly. And then you'll have some moderate rain in behind that. Again, Oxbow right here in the center of our screen. You can see those bright oranges. You're right in the middle of it right now. Let me just hit the stop actually. And then to your south and west right now, there's a big gap of very little rain. And then there will be some more moderate rain here where you see this yellow with a little bit of orange in there. Let's see what the winds are going to be like. So right now, pretty windy going through Oxbow, but that should subside a little bit, hopefully, and be a little bit better on the backside of it. So hopefully keeping everybody up to date there. And let me just take a look here. I'm just going to activate something here. Bear with me for a second. There we go. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at. So just trying to see if there's anything else I can point out to you folks on the let's take a look at Foxwarren. So this is the radar right outside of the border with Manitoba and Saskatchewan. Starting to see that line approach further north and east. Once it does get up there, that radar will see it better than what our current U.S. radar is seeing. But we do mix them up just because there's kind of a large area to cover with this storm system. So lots of lightning around Regina right now, and again, we're getting a bunch of precip moving up into that area, and this is also making its way up into Saskatoon. I'll tell you how far right now from Saskatoon this is. To the edge of the very light rain is about 26 kilometers. And then the more moderate rain, about 52 kilometers is where you guys are at from Saskatoon. So it's moving at a decent speed up in that direction. I would think within half an hour or so, it should be into Saskatoon. The further east you look at the precipitation, the more intense it is and the more lightning. Back to the west, you're seeing very little lightning, if any, and moderate rain. So just a very rainy night for a southern portion of Saskatchewan at this point. So, and let me switch over to a couple things here. Okay. Okay, just catching up on some comments and stuff. Let's see here. Yeah, Rick, I don't know if you're still in the chat, just sending me a message there. I didn't actually catch it right away. I apologize. He was commenting on some winds down in North Dakota. I'm trying to stick with as much as I can on the Canadian side just because that's our focus, obviously, of this channel. But let's take a look at that. So these storms are starting to pop even more out in front of this line as it's marching northeast. Quite a bit of wind packed in there. Again, you can see that leading edge showing 97 kilometers an hour, 100 kilometers an hour. So as the storm moves in, it's going to blow very hard. Lots of rain, and then it'll quickly subside. So it'll kind of be a bit of a smack in the face, but once it's moved through, hopefully that improves on the backside of that line as it's walking northeast at this point. So this is what's unfolding right now, kind of heading up to that Saskatchewan, Manitoba, and U.S. border kind of meeting zone, I would say. Tom Canuck saying seems to have passed in Estevan, and yes, you're kind of going to get into some moderate rain right now, but the bad part of it has passed you. You can see that right now that you're only getting into the yellow, whereas before it was obviously reds and oranges, which is very heavy precipitation also associated with that wind. So there is some more rain headed at you, but it's just going to be moderate, no lightning in this. And let's just take a look at our wind velocities. Some wind packed in there with it, but shouldn't be too bad, and shouldn't be, shouldn't sustain for too long. So what else have we got going on here? Just looking further south into North Dakota, just to try and see some patterns. This is where the radar is located. That's why there's a hole here. And radars don't read straight out, so I'm going to show you what radar is actually seeing. I can tilt my software, and this is what it's seeing. The beams come out at an angle. So when you're looking at radar, you're not seeing a flat image per se. Sorry. Oh, geez, I'm losing control here. Come on. I'm trying to back it up here. There's the radar. Sorry. So this is how the radar reads out. So as it reads further and further away, you're reading higher and higher up into the storm. So that's something you have to understand when you're looking at radar, why I always look at distance from radar, so I know roughly what I'm looking at, and where I'm looking at in the storm itself. So there was just an alert that came out. I'm just going to see here. That was this one, just Ojima, west of Weyburn. They just updated this, so I think they just pushed it north, but I'm just double checking the terminology here. So severe line of thunderstorms capable of producing damaging winds, quarter-size hail, and heavy rain. So again, they're just continuing that standard part, because all of this orange is a very heavy rain now to the south side of Regina, and you're seeing a line form here moving north. This is a very thin line, but that is going to come into Regina here very shortly, and then move northward from there. And then the bigger line will move into Regina after that. So Weyburn out of that, heavier stuff, kind of in a gap right now where there's not much rain, moderate rain back to the southwest. Estevan out of it as well. And we're now talking about the very southeast corner, Carnduff. Going to go through it a bit here. A little bit of a breakup, it looks up in the line here. There's more yellow and green than there is orange and red. So that may be a good indicator, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. And then obviously all these little storms popping on the North Dakota side, and even some into Saskatchewan. As this is being forced northward, that forcing is causing those storms to pop a little bit now, moving into that Manitoba corner there. So that's where we're kind of at this point. I'm going to continue monitoring it, and we'll update you folks on it, and continue to carry through this just to see where this ends up. Again, Manitoba side, we're talking storms for the next 7 hours probably, and they will slowly move their way out. Obviously, this line is just getting into that tip of the corner, so it's going to be a while before it's, for example, almost to Portage La Prairie, and in that northeast corner, you're probably talking 5 hours before it's out that way, if nothing pops additionally in front of it, meaning more storms happening. So 10:40 p.m., just damaging wind gusts, quarter-size hail, and heavy rain is what's being called for in this line. And let's just take a look down here. I'm just looking at velocities. There's some rotation down in the North Dakota side. They definitely need to pay attention. And around the radar, it's windy, but this looks bad because it's right at the radar, but there are some strong winds right there. It's just because it's opposite side of the radar. That's why you have that green and red in there. But if you saw that elsewhere, that would definitely have my attention as far as possible rotation happening. So let's swing back out here and take a look. So our last scan was at 10:35 p.m. Saskatchewan time. We should have a new scan here within a minute because we're about 8-minute cycles before the radar data gets uploaded to from Environment Canada to us and others. There you go. There's the latest scan, 10:41, 1 minute ago. So this looks like the northern edge of this as it's approaching Saskatoon. Still has a lot of rain in it, but it is weakening, and I'll show you what I mean by that. I'm going to go back a few scans here. So where it was between Davidson or just to the north of Davidson, as you walk forward, you see a bunch of lightning, reds and oranges, and then the lightning starts to diminish off of it. The reds disappear and things kind of start spreading out. So that's an indicator of a storm or a line of storms weakening. So as it's going to come into Saskatoon, there's still going to be tons of rain in this with some lightning, but it is not going to have the same impact with the rain. And the winds don't look too bad on that leading edge as well. So as it's coming into Saskatoon, it is losing a bit of its oomph or punch. We now have these rains moving into Regina, Pilot Butte. There's that kind of a line that was in there. So moderate rain with obviously quite a bit more rain back to the south, just north of Milestone, for example. And then coming back to this southeast corner here. So let me pull that back up. And yeah, lots of popcorn storms, what I call popcorn storms, showing up ahead of this line here. All these little tiny showers showing up. So what have they updated here? So they've taken the severe watch. Are they doing anything with it? It says expires in 1 hour. And was just updated now, but there's no other additional information. I don't think the box changed, to be honest with you. So, and then the tornado watch expires in 15 minutes on the Saskatchewan side. So thankfully, none of that took place today. So that's great. And, you know, like I said, we did have a tornado about a week and a half ago in Oxbow causing damage. Those are, you know, I hate hearing about that, but I was happy that we were able to warn people in front of that. Craig Bohm actually, I think, had a really good video of it on that storm, and he had some great footage. So a great Canadian chaser, definitely follow him. He's out of Saskatchewan. If you don't already, because a lot of people do follow him. Awesome photographer too. Okay, let's keep up the party here. So we'll kind of walk through here. You'll notice, I think it's a good sign. I think the line is breaking up somewhat. You can see here on the original scan at the beginning, I'm going to just backtrack it here, how crisp that line was buried, you know, with those oranges in there. Very sharp line here on the leading edge of it. And now as we're getting further along, when I push it out to here, you can see there's much more yellow and orange in here than there is red. And the leading edge is kind of jagged and broken up, which is, again, usually indicative of it weakening a little bit. It hasn't died, it's just weakening at this point, which is a good sign for those out in front of it. So we'll see if that continues to be the case. So obviously good for southwest Manitoba at this point. The little storms out in front of it, just precipitation, not a lot of wind, I don't think, in those little storms, but the line itself in southeast Saskatchewan right here, there's some solid winds in here. Probably 100-kilometer-hour winds. Yeah, so we've got a little over 100 kilometers an hour just to the southwest of Gainsborough. So that's not going to be fun or pleasant, but roughly 100-kilometer-hour winds throughout this line and right into that southeast corner of Saskatchewan, right near Manitoba border. So this bright flesh tone colors, that's where those 100K winds are in on that leading edge. You can see that's where the storm, the leading edge of it is sitting at this point. And it might be gusting out, which means it's kind of dying, but when storms die, they do gust out, pushing those stronger winds with them. So we'll see if that's the case. So Um, anyways, line moving north through the Saskatchewan side of things, and then northeast more so on the Manitoba side. So let's take a look here. Like I said, I'm hoping that this line is coming apart. They've updated this severe warning in the bottom right corner. Again, just saying damaging wind gusts up to quarter-size hail and very heavy rain. And that rain is definitely one of the biggest components as far as this line moving into the area. There are some winds also packed in on that leading edge of that line that we were just discussing, close to 100-kilometer-hour winds in there. So it's going to blow stuff around as it moves through. So comment, Sire, what is this? I'm not sure what you're referring to. So if you can be a little more elaborate on the question, I can maybe answer that for you. But just covering what we were covering earlier, but jump back on for a second half of the stream here as this line intensified moving out of North Dakota. Bike is saying thunderstorm is hitting Regina now, and that would be the very leading edge of this. You can see that right here. So yes, there's a bunch of rain moving through. Again, that will be moving north basically at this point. You can see the storms maybe a bit of northwest component on them, and there's more rain kind of to the south, a much wider band of heavy rain moving in from that to the south. So that's still coming into Regina. You can see that here stretching from Rollo to Francis. That will make its way up to Pilot Butte, Regina, along that Trans-Canada Highway. Let's just take a look in here. The thunderstorm warning. Tracking a thunderstorm capable of producing damaging wind gusts and very heavy rain. So there is a lot of rain still to the south of Regina all the way to the U.S. border. That will continue for the next several hours. There's quite a bit of wind, again, on that leading edge. That's what we're talking about. We're talking 90-kilometer-hour winds packed in here just to the south of Regina and stretching back southeast. You can see along that, leading edge of this storm, or sorry, of the line of precipitation and these storms as they move through. So, okay. What else have we got going on? I'm just going to swing over here. Okay. No emails right now. Perfect. Okay. So Moose Jaw probably getting in on some rain right now, but nothing too intense. You're more in the light or moderate rain, but directly southeast of you, heading in that Moose Jaw direction. There is some moderate to heavy rain with lightning and some winds heading that way as well. So keep that in mind if you're in the Moose Jaw area, and this is moving up towards Saskatoon. So southeast of there, we are 10:47 p.m. Saskatchewan time. That rain as it's moving in towards Saskatoon is dissipating a little bit. You can see how intense it was here a few scans ago, about an hour ago. A lot of red and orange, and now we're mostly orange and yellow with a lot of green intruding there, and the lightning has dissipated on it as well. So going to be just mostly regular showers coming into Saskatoon with some wind and maybe a tiny bit of lightning because it's going to be close to midnight by the time it gets down that way. So what else have we got here? So the line is starting to look a little more broken up, which is good. My concern is when we see a line that looks like this back here on these frames here, you can see how what's the precise or sharp that line is. That is indicative of something that's strong and wants to try and kind of bulldoze over the landscape with the wind and rain. But here you can see the red has mostly gone away, and we've got mostly orange and yellow. So again, it's starting to weaken, it looks like, which is fantastic news, especially for that southwest corner of Manitoba. Still going to be windy as it moves through, but less rain, less lightning, and less intensity at this point by the looks of it. So just check my phone there. And if you guys have questions like I've been doing, try and keep up with the chat, you can throw them in there. I will do my very best to answer them. If you're new to the channel, this is where you can find us. These are our social media platforms or email. Definitely check those out. We do more posts as far as written analysis of what's going to happen, possibly, day of or day before. On our Facebook page, so that's a good one to check out. X and Instagram, we're just on there. We're starting to grow those out, but another place where you can check out videos and information as well there. So that's where you can find us. So let's take a look here. We just had another beep there, so I'm gonna check what radar software. This one expiring, so that's in the Yukon. That's way up there. We're way down here, so we won't worry about the Yukon. So let me flip that back around here, and we can kind of see how this is affecting all of Saskatchewan. Quite a bit of rotating rain as this is moving through, and hopefully things are weakening to the point where it won't be as impactful as we were, seeing over the last hour or two with that line as it blew through. So we've had some reports out of Estevan and a few other places where it was very windy and rainy and lots of lightning, as you can see this populating the map here. And then southeast of here, that's what we're curious about, whether that line is weakening, which I believe it is. It could re-intensify, so I'm going to stay on this for a bit and keep monitoring it. And kind of go from there. So what time? It's almost 11 p.m. Check some messages here just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. Okay. So I'll throw the radar up on the full screen here just so people can see it a little better. And see if it does look like this is weakening somewhat. So I'll continue to stick with it for a little bit. And take a look down here. Southeast corner. So we've now southeast corner of Saskatchewan. That line is kind of moving up through that area, and then into the southwest corner of Manitoba is where we're at. The winds we've been highlighting are right on the border here. So give me 1 sec. Let me use that tool. So some 100-kilometer-hour winds on that Highway 3, just stretching northeast of there. And that's right through Gainsborough right now. On the Manitoba side, it's Pearson heading that way, so there's going to be some decent winds going into Pearson shortly. And it's stretching back from Gainsborough kind of northwest of there. And this would be in the 80 to 90, possibly even 100-kilometer-hour winds as that's moving through. So you can see the line is absorbing these little storms that are out in front of it. And that's what I'm curious is whether it will re-intensify somewhat. So about to rain in Carlisle, Saskatchewan along that 13. So that rain is moving up into that area there. And then Francis right now in some heavy rain over to Rollo. And then now coming into between Moose Jaw and Regina, there's some heavy precipitation about to move across the Trans-Canada Highway, and then pushing northward from there You can see this moving up and then up towards Saskatoon, but a lot less intensity as we get closer to Saskatoon at this point. So, okay. Jordan, good to see you in the chat. Let's see what we've got here. Just a severe warning that got put up just now, or this one's expiring. So they are now expiring this warning saying the severe thunderstorms have moved out. So that is southeast of Moose Jaw, southwest of Regina. That severe warning is over and done with. Let's see if our tornado watch is going to expire here. Let me just see. I'll just do a refresh. Tornado watch is gone at this point, so we just have the 2 severe warnings, which are those thicker yellow boxes with the yellow lines, and the thinner lines are just watches. So warnings are things have actually come together, meaning it's ongoing, the event that it's warning for, and then a watch is saying that the ingredients are out there. The potential for things to get together could be happening during that watch time. So obviously watch starts first, and then the warning is when actually those conditions are met and happening. So, okay, what else? Just checking in. So a couple more questions here. Louise saying watching from Southwest Manitoba. So hopefully we are getting you the information that you need. And again, this is moving into your area currently. Lots of rain embedded in the leading edge of this line with lightning. And then the winds again right now on the Manitoba, Saskatchewan border between Gainsborough and Pearson in the 100-kilometer-hour. Well, right here near Pearson, southwest, we're seeing 115. So there's some very strong winds on the edge of this storm as it's moving through. So lots of places reading over 100 kilometers an hour. So you definitely need to pay attention to this as it's moving into Manitoba. But it is a narrow area, as you can see. So it's not long-lived or sustained, but you are definitely going to have to deal with some winds as this moves through. So what else is going on here? Watching from north of Manitoba where the storms are going 2 directions. Yeah, we've had that. Saskatchewan's had the same thing. We had storms moving northwest out of Saskatoon, moving south into Regina, and then south or northeast in this bottom corner. So we've had storm motion all over the place. So it's definitely one of those situations where we've got weather moving all sorts of places. So not much going on the Manitoba side with the only radar we really have access to out there. We only read as far as what's the most north. Poplar River is probably, or Grand Rapids. That's about as north as we get with the radars. Foxwarren might get a little bit further north. Flin Flon needs a radar. That's been a discussion before on, in the group and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully you're good. I mean, I can't tell you what's happening up there. I have no visual, but congratulations on graduating high school as well. So that's a big step on to bigger and better things. Interesting, the mesoscale discussion extends into Manitoba now. So the watch, you mean, Liv, I believe is what you're talking about. So that's this watch that got put out. That was issued about 2 hours ago, which is when we jumped on shortly after that. It's what got my attention. So I wanted to make sure we warned anybody that was in the Manitoba area. That was what they put out, basically saying that strong to severe wind gusts and heavy rain is the main threat. And that's what we've been seeing at this point on the very edge of this storm. Just very heavy precipitation with some strong winds in a very narrow band as this is moving north and northeast. So what else have we got here? Yeah, the storms are going to move through this area slowly through the night over the next 5 hours, 5 to 7 hours, I would say. And then there's going to be a round 2 tomorrow. So if anybody hasn't seen this, I'll put up our outlooks. This is for tomorrow afternoon. And again, this was based on today's data. So tomorrow morning, this will get updated with something new. However, this is what Environment Canada was putting out as an outlook. Around the Dauphin area, down to Brandon, around Riding Mountain National Park, there is a Country Fest festival, I believe, in Dauphin. So outdoor activities there. They are calling for some high-end severe here. This is high. Rating 90 to 110 kilometer-hour winds, 4 to 7 centimeter hail, which is just over 2 inches, and then 75 to 100 millimeters of rain with a tornado risk. This is 1 p.m. Sunday, Manitoba time, till 1 a.m. And then outside of that, we've got this giant yellow moderate area, and that extends from just west of Moose Jaw to east of Winnipeg. And we're talking 90 kilometer-hour winds, just over 1 inch hail or 4 centimeters, and then 50 to 75 millimeters of rain. So lots of weather still heading for this very large area, but obviously the tornado risk, still not sure if that will be there based on what transpired today. So in the morning, we will look at models and we will update things as well. So this is for tomorrow, and I don't know if they'll have the day 3 out. So they don't have the day 3 for Manitoba, but this is Monday, and this is out in northwest Ontario. But you can see the orange line stops at the Manitoba border, so you can assume it extends into Manitoba. Environment Canada Ontario is saying 110 kilometer-hour wind gusts, 5 centimeter hail, so just under 2 inches. 50 millimeters of rain, and another day with a tornado risk. So we're going to be streaming tomorrow. We're going to be streaming Monday, Tuesday. Like this is the longest stretch, I think, of severe weather that we've seen in Canada for quite some time. So again, we'll see where things unfold, but that's where we're at right now. Just looking at the outlooks. So I'll kill those off right now. Let me pull that up, and then we're back to radar here. So again, the line is looking a little more broken up, which is good. It's not as clean. For example, down here in North Dakota, you can kind of see a very easy, sharp edge on that, and that generally indicates a stronger storm. So you can see that right here. There's definitely a strong storm, just being well defined. Whereas up north, it's breaking up somewhat. So that is good news for those in front of it, because obviously the intensity isn't there or isn't as bad as it could be. I'm going to just look at temperatures and we'll go from there. So right now, the nearest temperature I have is in North Dakota, but this was 22 minutes ago. So it's showing 21 degrees, but a lot of Manitoba is down to about 18 degrees, Brandon 19, and then you get further west, it's 17 or 18 degrees. So those cooler temps will kind of keep those storms from going too crazy. But because it's nicely broken up like this, that's a good sign. We also have not had anything severe warned on the Manitoba side. So Environment Canada on the Manitoba side has not put out a severe warning for any of this area. So let me just take a look here. Still some strong winds in this. Again, right on that Manitoba-Saskatchewan border. And we're probably 104, 108 kilometers, 111. So this is right north of Gainsborough, but again, 4,000 feet off the ground. So on the surface, I would expect 70 to 90 kilometer-hour winds. Still obviously very significant. So please keep that in mind. And let's take a look here further back. So we've got a ton of rain. Now moving along that 39 corridor again from Estevan to Weyburn, all the way up to Milestone and Rollo, into Moose Jaw. But for the most part, there's no lightning in here. This is just regular rainstorm. Let's take a look at some wind velocities. There's some strong winds down here between Weyburn and Estevan, but again, they are far from the radar. So I'm just going to see what they're showing on the opposite radar, kind of overlapping them. And so there are some strong winds in here, even though it's a little further away. So just winds that we need to pay attention to with those bright blues. That area there has some strong winds. And then let's take a look here. We're about to get a bunch of rain coming into Regina, but a lot of the orange has disappeared from this. And it's basically now moderate rain. So that yellow green is on the low end of the scale. The orange has kind of worked its way out of some of the areas in this line of storms moving north. So that won't be so bad for Regina. East of Moose Jaw, there is a ton of rain falling right now on the Trans-Canada, and then kind of moving north from there. Let's take a look if this has made it into Saskatoon. What are they updating? Oh, they just severe warned the Manitoba side, so we're going to go look at that. So Saskatoon right now, very, very light rain just on the very leading edge of this. Some more rain headed that way. Will probably be about moderate rain. That's about the most of it. So they just severe warned Manitoba side. So let's have a read at that and go from there. Thunderstorm warning at 12:06 a.m. Manitoba time. Environment Canada tracking severe thunderstorm capable of producing damaging wind gusts, quarter-size hail, and very heavy rain. So this is in the far southwest corner. Let's take a look at our wind velocities. So there are some higher winds here north of Pearson, northeast of Gainsborough. There's a bunch of wind in a very tight gradient or very tight line. And so that's where we've got those bigger winds at this point. I'm going to take a look here, see which one of my radars is closer. I don't think Foxwarren is close yet. No, it's still far away from there. So again, marching northeast at this point, making its way into Manitoba, and that's our first severe warning. Heavy rain in there, and obviously the winds are the two main components that they've severe warned that for. So yeah, Jordan saying it's possibly going to break up a little bit and slowly go away and disappear, but that would be over the next, we're talking 5 hours roughly. This is still quite the system. Again, if you look at, I'm just going to update the thunderstorm warning that just came out. So they're updating it with data saying a line from Carlisle to Lyleton moving northeast at 30 kilometers an hour. Damaging winds up to 110, quarter-sized hail, so 2.5 centimeter, and then heavy rain being in that 15 to 50 millimeter range. That is what is the bigger component of it, because these are slow moving somewhat and are pouring down quite a bit of rain, but it is looking like there's a bit of a weakening happening as it's moving in, so that would be real good as this continues along. So we'll stay with it for a bit here and try and keep up with things, and then update you folks on the other stuff there back further into Saskatchewan. So just a lot of rain packed into the southern portion of Saskatchewan with that all that yellow. And then again, the areas of orange are where we're seeing a lot more precipitation. That's moderate, high-end rain and heavier precipitation in there. So, but Regina right now just in very, very mild rain, but soon this moderate rain will move into the area from the south with obviously quite a bit of lightning happening around that as well. So just looking to see what else is going on here. We had funnel clouds the other day, about 3-4 days ago, out of Saskatoon. North of there were some pretty consistent funnels happening. So yeah, it's kind of funny. We were getting a comment in here. Craft Dinosaur, it's pure magic. How in the world can Saskatoon dodge all the rain? I make fun of it where I'm in Eastern Ontario. I call it the Kemptville, which is the town that I live in, storm shield. And for, one reason or another, rainstorms split or go in different directions, and we miss it a lot of the time. So it seems like um, that's what's going on with Saskatoon right now. They're just, storms are dying as they get there. However, you are going to get rain out of this because it's literally on the doorstep at this point right now from the edge of. Let me just measure it out here. But from the very edge of Saskatoon, we're about 20 kilometers to that moderate rain, and there's even some lightning in there. So you're going to see that. It's just not going to be the same intensity that we saw in this southeast corner as things came in at about an hour ago, maybe about an hour and a half ago. So let's just take a look what's going on here from the US radar. So quite a bit of stuff popping out ahead of the line. You can see that. So I'm just trying to see what's happening here. And what area I am focusing on are all these storms out in front of it right here. You can see that very distinctive forcing happening. And if I play the radar forward, you're going to see that line is going to catch up to those storms and kind of absorb them. You're seeing it happen right on the border to the north. And so it's going to come through in North Dakota and absorb those and then continue on to into, further into Manitoba at this point. So, and there's our latest scan there, 11:13 p.m., which is just now. Let's take this, delete it out, and then just go and look at velocities. So very easy to see where those strong line of winds are. They would be tucked into this corner here, and these are in the 90 to 100 km/h winds, and sometimes even a little bit more, but that's where that is located, moving northeast in that southwest corner. So this would be, it's gone through Pearson, but it's coming into Elva at this point, and Melita and Coulter. Those are kind of the towns that are in the direct path of this right now or very shortly. So again, just a lot of rain, lightning, and that very tight band of stronger winds coming through. So we're almost out of the severe warnings for Saskatchewan. I think this is the last one left here in the southeast corner. That one was updated 7 minutes ago or 6 minutes ago. The one to the west, or sorry, not to the west, to the southwest of Regina, that one is expiring. I want to say that's expiring in 42 minutes. Let's see if I can get that, if it'll disappear. No, it's still there. So that one has expired. So the only severe warning left in Saskatchewan is in the far southeast corner. It encompasses Carlisle and what else is around there? Redvers, Elida. That's all the way down to Gainsborough, and then it's into Manitoba. Then we have that severe warning for the storms coming through the Manitoba side of things. So that's what's transpiring at this point. Yeah, Jordan, I know you don't like the storms, and hopefully this stuff starts to come apart. Definitely, you are way north in Manitoba, so let's hope that's the case. Unfortunately, I don't have eyes I can even check on there. So right now, just seeing that, like I said, I think there's a bit of a good sign for portions of the line weakening, and we're going to keep an eye on that. And in the meantime, I'm just looking up a few things here. I need to get some more water, so I'm going to have to step away for a second and do that. My computer's making some weird noises there. With me for a second. Okay, let me grab some water. I'll be right back. Okay. Okay. Well, hopefully this is kind of on a downward trend. At least that's what I'm hoping at this point. So we'll keep an eye on it and um, walk people through the rest of it through Manitoba. Jordan saying kind of lonely a bit, no, a little bit that no one is chatting, and it's late at night. So I mean, again, it's 11:17 Saskatchewan time. It's just after midnight in Manitoba, and here in Ontario, it's almost quarter after 1 in the morning. So, um, so not as many people up, definitely. So, user saying here, I'm located near Elida. Oh, oops, wrong one. This one here, Elida, which is back to the. Let me just pull it up here. I know you're here somewhere. Oxbow, there we go. Yeah, so that's right here as the line went through. So comment was, I'm located near Elida at Nottingham. It was wild about 15 minutes ago, and that's that part of the storm, that the line as it moves through, the wind is packed in there and just that heavy rain. So that definitely would get your attention. That's right here. And let me zoom into Elida. There's Elida right there in the center, basically. So you can see how the storm moved through there, and lots of red and orange, so quite a bit of precipitation, but there's also the wind aspect of it, which I'll bring that up as well. So you can see how the winds push through Elida there. This would have been about 10:58 p.m., so about 20 minutes ago, roughly. And so it would have been windy, rainy, and lots of lightning associated with it. But the good news is at this point, that is the intense part of the weather for the evening for you. At this point, there's more rain behind it, but there's no lightning, and the winds should be far less. So you should be good. At this point, so you should be able to be going to bed and not have any issues. I'm just going to check the velocities behind it, and they're fine. So again, as soon as the line is through, for the most part, you folks are good to go at this point. So Sear or Sire, I don't know whether it's Sire or Sear, but anyways, the fire situation in Saskatchewan, Manitoba, Northwest Territories, and Northwest Ontario is wild. And yes, there's a lot of areas that have the potential for quite a bit of fire. Hopefully that's not the case. I know today we did, with these storms coming through from the US, there's a big fire down by Utah. Where is it actually? Yeah, you might catch it on radar, which is the crazy part. I'm just trying to remember where it was in Utah. No, I don't see it on radar. But I know that a lot of smoke got trailed up with the storms to into Montana and into North Dakota, and then pulled into Canada. I have a friend in Portage La Prairie saying it's hazy there from the wild or from smoke. So it's definitely making its way up as these storms push it through. So we'll continue to pay attention here. The line seems to be widening out, which is also a good thing. The wider that line gets, the more diffused that intensity is, and that's always good for things there as well, as far as people being out in front of it. So what else is here? User saying wind, rain, lightning, even had a few hailstones, but not many. That would have been in Elida, and that's good to hear that it wasn't many. We're not seeing on the signature or on the reflectivity for the radar, it's just borderline on that hail. So hopefully that was just kind of pea-sized or smaller. So that's been good. Michael saying nothing at all night between Kipling and Peebles, but we might get something now. So let's just take a look. See if I can narrow that down. Hit that. So between Kipling and Peebles. So which way is Peebles? Oh, you're just south of Broadview. I have a buddy who lives there. Um, so yeah, I mean, Kipling is right here, so you're definitely about to see some storms come through that leading edge. And again, it's packing a bit of a punch when it comes to wind. So let me just take a look at velocities up there. It's not too bad actually up this way, so that's a good sign. There's definitely quite a bit of rain in there, and some lightning as well. So it's on your doorstep. It should be there any moment. So you'll definitely get in on some of that action at this point. What else? Okay, caught up on comments. And just going to respond to a couple things here. Okay, time is it? At some point, I unfortunately will have to pull the stream because I've got to get some sleep so I can stream tomorrow again. We have a bit of a marathon. If anybody has been watching, we're probably looking at 9 days of severe weather across Canada over the in a row at this point. So I've never done that. I'm curious if my voice is going to still be here at the end of 9 days, but we'll see how it goes. We'll just truck along and hopefully it'll be well. So Veronica King saying lots of thunder, lightning, wind, and rain in Moose Jaw. So that's the line that's moving between Moose Jaw and Regina. Let's just take a look back here. So yes, it's actually moved into Moose Jaw. So lots of rain in there as well. But the bulk of the precipitation is to your east and to the northeast of Moose Jaw along that, I guess, north of the Trans-Canada Highway. So, but further east, it's a little more intense. You can see how this has kind of come up into that area. And it's kind of snuck between Moose Jaw and Regina is essentially where all this precipitation is tucked in. You can see that there. And it behind it, there's not as much lightning. There's definitely still quite a bit of moderate rain behind that's coming for you throughout the night for the next several hours anyways. You can see all this yellow here. No lightning in it, which obviously means the intensity is nowhere near what you just would have been through. But appreciate the update from the ground there. That helps us out a lot. Uh, yeah, Jordan, good to see you on the stream. Thanks for jumping in. I'll probably, I'll stick it out for a little bit longer, but at some point I'm gonna have to unplug here and at least make an attempt to get some sleep. So let's just take a look. Saskatoon getting rain now. It's official. You guys are in moderate rain here. So it's literally going to be spotty where you're going to have moderate rain, then very little, and then back into moderate rain as you see that yellow and orange area there. So Saskatoon didn't dodge it completely. Regina now heavy rain in that area, moderate to moderate heavy, and a little bit more coming that way, but moving through the area. And then let's just take a look here. Just looking on that southeast side of Saskatchewan. So still along that Redvers area, a bunch of rain going into there. And they've just updated both these boxes. They've pushed this one a little further out. So on the Manitoba side, they've extended the box. They've stair-stepped it down towards Boisvin. Right now, sorry, just going to click on this thunderstorm watch. Producing damaging wind gusts, quarter-size hail, and very heavy rain. That was updated by Environment Canada just now. And what they did is they just extended the box out because obviously the arc of this line of storms, they're just following that as it's moving through. So let's take a look at our winds in there. Again, very narrow swath. You can see that, but some stronger winds just buried in here, 80 kilometers an hour. Some 90, close to 100, but it's very, very narrow, moving from southeast to northwest trajectory or line. So our Toronto, wow, on again, Tom. This is real dedication. Yeah, this line that started to move into Manitoba, I kind of had to jump on it. It intensified a lot more than I thought it would. So I did want to get the word out to people, and we do have a couple severe warnings moving into the southwest corner of Manitoba. So, but I got on about 2 hours ago, and hopefully things are kind of still going to be intense overnight. So this is what you can expect, that front leading edge of the storm, a line moving into Manitoba. So there'll be heavy rain, some winds, but it is subsiding somewhat and breaking up a little bit. So that is good news. This watch is out for the next, what time is it? It is 12:30, about 7 hours on the Manitoba side. This watch is still going to be in effect for Environment Canada as this line slowly moves through, heading towards Portage and the northeast corner of that watch. Saskatchewan getting a whole bunch of rain still, so lots of rain tucked in here, but the intensity is going down as well on that. So these are all good things. So yeah, we're definitely in for a marathon this week. So didn't expect to be on this late, just the way things were unfolding. But then again, like I said, as soon as I got off, I noticed that things were picking up a little bit. So I wanted to jump on and let folks know. They've shrunk the box back here on the severe watch on the Saskatchewan side. They basically, let me move this. They basically eliminated this corner right here. They've moved it. Oh, well, they killed it off completely. They took a whole bunch of it away from me. So the severe watch is now just tucked into that southeast corner. So you can see this light, small yellow line that is flashing black and yellow. That is what's left of the severe watch on the Saskatchewan side. We have this one severe warning here in this corner. This one is still valid for about 2 hours. They'll probably drop that once this storm moves out of the area and continues north. They'll maybe extend it up that way. And again, primarily for heavy precipitation and some winds on that very leading edge of it as it's moving through. So okay, so what it looks like here. Yeah, severe ended in Regina. Thank you very much for that. Yes, we just got that coming off, so that's literally what I was just covering. So I'm sure you threw that comment up before I was talking about it. So this is definitely winding down. Obviously, if you are ahead of this, and I'm going to highlight this, anybody watching from the Manitoba area, these storms are making their way in this general direction roughly, and then this part here moving a little bit more north. And again, you can kind of track how it's coming out of the US here. This is the cycle as far as the US radar, and you're going to see that line slowly advance. But as it's advancing overnight, it's going to weaken slowly. The further east it goes, the rain will subside on it a little bit. The wind will subside on it, and obviously the lightning as well. So I expect that to kind of wind down over the next 4 hours or so, maybe 5. And that will be all through the Manitoba area at this point. So definitely things are looking much better at this point than they were 2 hours ago. So again, that is good news for everybody that's in the path of this. It will be windy, rainy, and lightning, but the tornado aspect is gone. That was only in Saskatchewan. That's dealt with. And let's just take a look here on the Saskatchewan side. So mostly just thunderstorms and rain for the eastern portion of Saskatchewan. When it's further west, there's basically no lightning, or even to the south of this line, there's no real lightning, but just a bunch of rain packed in there. So that's what's unfolding at this point. So it's now 1:30. It's past 1:30 in the morning for me here in Eastern Ontario. So I'm probably going to pull the plug here on the stream unless there's a specific question you guys need answered. We'll reconvene tomorrow And again, we're going to be covering Manitoba and Saskatchewan tomorrow just to recap everything. This will look different tomorrow because this outlook that was put by Environment Canada was from today's data. That has changed somewhat. So we will see in the morning when I get up. I'm going to look at some of the models. I'm going to look at the outlooks, and we'll post our thoughts on things for Saskatchewan and Manitoba. There's definitely more severe weather on tap for tomorrow. We just got to look at models, got to look at data, and do an assessment from there. So we will be more than likely live streaming, late tomorrow afternoon into the evening, and possibly late into tonight as well, or into tomorrow night as well. And then we've got Manitoba and Northwest Ontario on Monday. So 3 pretty long days here ahead of us, and then we'll see from there what the rest of the models are showing. Tuesday, we were looking at Eastern Ontario, Southern Ontario, and Wednesday as well. Canada Day out here could be pretty bad. So we're still several days out from that, but with all the outdoor activities in the nation's capital and severe weather moving through, that could be bad news. And so we're going to try and get the word out if that's what's going to unfold as far ahead as possible, just so that, if people have outdoor activities, they're prepared to be able to take shelter, that kind of thing. So, yeah. Honestly, Tom, is really good to have you. Appreciate what you're doing. I honestly hope it grows. Thank you. Definitely, we've been growing. We're almost at 12,000 subscribers here on YouTube. Thank you for anybody that subscribed tonight. Anybody who's become a member of the Sunshine Club, that's the other thing. We just launched that basically about 10 days ago, officially about 4 or 5 days ago. But the Sunshine Club is, you can subscribe to the membership, and you get a custom badge that goes by your name in the chat. You get custom emojis that you have access to, and it's only $1.49 a month, so it's extremely cost effective, but it helps us out and we appreciate it. So think about becoming a member. Again, if you want to support the platform, it's only $1.49 a month. So our Toronto, I always appreciate having you in the chat. You've been a loyal follower, and it's always good to chat with you. So I got a comment here. I'm in Manitoba. That's Tamara, I believe, northwest of Brandon. Very worried about the wind. So let me just move out of this for now and bring back our radar. So that was the outlook that we were looking at. If you're northwest of Brandon, this line will make its way up there. Let's take a look at our velocities here. They're improving a little bit, but there's still quite a bit of wind packed into a very narrow area along the leading edge of the storm. So definitely the wind will pack a bit of a punch as this moves through. Lots of precipitation as well. So if you've got anything that you don't want blown around, it's best to get it out of the way at this point. But this is moving up. If you say you're northwest of Brandon, I don't know how far, but this line of storms, let's measure it right now from, let's say roughly Brandon, and I'm going to move this down here for you. So right out of Brandon to the line, you're about 88 kilometers right now, and this is not moving quickly. So more than likely at least 2 to 3 hours before this is out to the northwest of Brandon, unless something pops before that. Sometimes we do have storms that fire ahead of the line. And, oops, that's the wrong tool. Let me kill this off. So you're a couple hours out, but it will be windy overnight for a short period as it moves through, and then just lots of rain and lightning. So, okay, what else have we got here? What? Not sure. There's a comment that doesn't make sense here. Weirzy, what is racist, political, or homophobic about my comments? I have no idea what you're talking about, unless my Oh, maybe Nightbot. There's something going on there. I apologize if it may have made a mistake. I have no idea. I just obviously that Nightbot is an AI thing, or not AI. It's just automated. It's a piece of software, so I'm not sure what that was in regards to, but it may have been a glitch. So I apologize for that. Not sure there. So um, Cohen saying, what if I'm traveling from Regina to Winnipeg tomorrow morning? Tomorrow morning, you should be okay. Let me just take a look here. And there'll be storms trailing here. So I'm just going to look at, so from Regina to Winnipeg, you will have possibly some storms there. So let me just take a look here. I'll pull up a model and I'll show you. This is a model and that's all it is, but it's the easiest, quickest one I can pull up right now. So this is not necessarily what's going to happen. So let's move this here so we can see how the storms, this is my time, 9 a.m. There are some storms that are going to happen. So you've got some random storms moving through the area, and then we're talking later in the evening. So there's going to be some rain, but for the most part, it should be pretty reasonable drive from Regina. Just looking quickly at these models, going to you were saying to Winnipeg. So it shouldn't be too bad. You may have some minor storms that you run into, but nothing in the morning is going to be an issue. Tomorrow, it's the afternoon that is the biggest question mark as far as what's going to happen. So afternoon and evening would be the part that I would be worried about. So first time here. Thank you so much, Tom. I really appreciate you. I'm in Rivers. Glad you found us and glad we could help you out. Pickles saying, what website? I don't know. This is not a website. Like, we're using a software package called Weatherwise Pro. That's what I'm using on the screen to be able to read the radar and all that kind of stuff. So if that's what you're referring to, it's an app called Weatherwise. What else is going on? Michael's saying, yeah, this is good, Max, and Ryan won't really cover Canada, and instant weather has normal limitations. Great that you are here, Tom. I appreciate that very much. And again, we are only 1 year old. We literally just passed our 1 year anniversary of our first live stream. So Connor and myself bring 12 years each of severe chasing or being storm chasers and understanding severe weather. So Lisa saying it's raining in Saskatoon, which again, all day it's been dodging it. So good to see that it's excuse me, that it's finally managed to rain in Saskatoon. So Sire saying Weatherwise is a web app. Well, this is an app the software is downloaded right on my PC. And then I also have an app on, it'll do iPhone and Android. So yes, it's an app downloaded to the PC that you can purchase, and you can get the free version. But if you want more data and more access to different things, then obviously there's different levels. I think there's 3 in total. So again, we are not sponsored by them, but really happy with switching over to Weatherwise in the last 6 months. So anyways, it looks like this is what's just going to happen. This line is just going to march northeast. There is going to be some wind on the leading edge, lots of rain and lightning at this point. Will continue for the next several hours as it marches forward. It looks to be, sustaining or at least weakening a little bit as this continues through the evening. So let's hope that continues to be the case. And we'll reconvene tomorrow. Again, we're going to be doing our Facebook page. We'll put up our outlooks for what's going on and what we're expecting. And then when severe weather starts to happen, we will be back on the live stream walking through that with everybody in Saskatchewan and Manitoba, more than likely for tomorrow. So what else? So they've just updated this thunderstorm warning. I think they just extended it out again. It just saying damaging wind gusts, quarter size hail, and very heavy rain. And then the one in the back here in Saskatchewan, same thing. So that has not changed. Oh, I would offer to you that yes, the YouTube subs numbers are to mean anything. They are speaking loudly and clearly. Yes, absolutely. Like I said, we've only been on for a year and we've already got almost 12,000 here on YouTube, and we have 7,000 on Facebook. So we're almost at 20,000 followers, which is fantastic. We're loving the support. The response in the weather community has been awesome. So that's literally what we're trying to do, is build a weather community where we can help people out, and we kind of tone down the volume as far as we don't hype stuff up. We try not to fearmonger or any of that kind of stuff, because that doesn't help anybody at the end of the day. We just try to get concise, accurate information out to folks. So again, thank you very much, everybody, for joining me again for round 2. If you're new here, appreciate you joining me as well. Hopefully you subscribe and hit the notification icon so you know when we do go live. I hope everybody sleeps well tonight, and we'll catch you on the next one. Our Facebook page, let me throw it up here. So it's just Canadian Weather Live on Facebook. So everywhere you can find us under Canadian Weather Live. We tried to keep it as simple as possible. So hopefully you can find that on the Facebook side of things, and all our information will be there as well. And the Nightbot actually just put a link out to it as well. There's some pages that we have there for other things on the Facebook side. So anyways, thank you very much, everybody. Hopefully everybody's good, and we will catch everybody on the next one. And again, I hope everybody sleeps well tonight at least, and hopefully we helped with some storm anxiety. So good night, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.